Well, just give us a brief overview of how you see your team right now.
Very excited to get the season started. I think we've had probably the best off season in summer that maybe since I've been here. Had a great spring. I think the guys have worked extremely hard. Very excited about our coaching staff. We've added a few additions, but still got the same core, which is great. Very good staff, very good support staff. And just very excited about where we're heading and what we've been able to do, this off season in preparation for it.
I know in the spring I tried to talk to you about quarterbacks. You weren't ready to talk about them. Can you tell
Not
us
much has changed. I mean, until we actually get out and play games and that kind of thing, it's just, it's at that position, a lot of it you can look real good in shorts and against air, and but there's something else when you got live rush and you got people trying to tackle you and you got to make those decisions that quick and things like that. So it'll definitely go on into the season and both will get reps and we'll just continue to go, and it may happen that way all year, and it may be that one guy emerges and really steps forward and is able to do it himself. Barry White, upcoming senior, and Caleb Nix, upcoming sophomore.
Am I remembering? My memory's not what it used to be. Was Barry?
Barry played for Bo.
He played for Bo.
Yeah, he was one of the. We did a lot. We had a wildcat. We had a couple of running backs play. Mm-hmm. We moved Jackie Matthews from cornerback over to quarterback during that time, and Barry also played. So we had quite a few. But Barry had some very significant, very good reps during that time. Very good experience during that time.
Are both of these guys seniors?
Yes.
Okay. And so for both of you, the players, I mean, there's a certain level of expectation that comes along when you've won the last two 6A state championships. So how do you guys feel about your team going into this season?
I think we feel great about coming into this season. Those expectations that we expect ourselves to go far again. And like Coach says, we're 0-0, and the team we have right now hasn't done anything. But we have to stay on that and work harder so we can get to the same goal we did the past 2 years.
Well, I know this team has a lot to prove because a lot of people think we can't do it because of Bo was there. So I just know this team got a lot to prove, and we just going to go out there and prove everybody wrong.
Guys, two-time state champions. That's something that's never happened at Pinson Valley before. How much, you had good teams in the past and so forth, but you never reached the level where you are now. How hard is it to take it to the next level once you've got not once but twice up to the very top?
Well, I have to say we have the toughest region in 6A, so all the teams gonna be tough, and we just know we gotta prepare for each team like there's a big team. No matter how good the team is, no matter how bad they is, we just gotta prepare like we're going out there to win another state championship.
It mainly focuses on us getting better every day, worrying about ourselves before we even get to the teams that we play. If we worry about ourselves and take care of business, then we'll be just fine just off that way.
So Patrick, who's kind of stepping into leadership roles for you this year, both offensively and defensively?
The two right here, obviously, or they wouldn't be here. We're very fortunate defensively. We've got a lot of returning, veteran defensive backs, linebackers. Excuse me. Defensive line, we lost a little bit, but everybody, even up front, had good quality playing experience last year. So I think that defensively, quite a few guys. I don't want to single any guy out yet because, once again, the season hadn't even gotten here yet. But got a lot of guys on defense. Offensively, losing the quarterback generally is the guy, and being Bo, he was the guy. And everybody kind of knew it. So it's, and then when you throw into that, you have two guys trying to compete at quarterback. That you don't have that necessarily that quarterback, the one guy to lead. So offensively, it's been a little bit different as having to have leadership come from other spots. But we've got some good leadership up front with a couple of guys that have played a lot of football. Some good leadership, at the skill positions from guys that have played a lot of football and are very good players. And so, it'll be interesting to see how the dynamics manage. Generally during off-season, coaches lead a lot because the team is sort of splintered off in classes, and you might not be all in the same class. And during the summer, we have been together a lot more, but it'll be interesting to see and fun to watch what guys do emerge as kind of the leaders as the season gets here and really gets going.
As the two guys competing for the quarterback spot, I guess what is it that you're looking for before you make that decision of who's going to be your guy? As far as their game, what are you looking for there?
Execution. I don't think there's not necessarily one particular thing. It's the guy that allows our team to win, and that might be throwing the ball away. It might be throwing a completion. It might be handing the ball off at the right time. It might be, there's a lot of different things from making a check. There's so many different things that in our offense that you have to be able to do. And like I said earlier, neither one of them have been in significant pressure type situations. Barry has been in more than Caleb, but neither one of them have been in that significant pressure type situation to see how they're going to react to it. And, every day at our places, there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I mean, that's just the way it is. These guys will tell you, I don't, it's not real pretty for them sometimes. And so, but I also know that in games, it's not going to be simple for you. It's going to be very difficult. So we try to make practice as hard as we can, and we go against a great defense every day. So, I think but going back to your question, be the guy that can execute and find ways for our team to win, and not them winning it as much as them not losing it. There's a lot more games lost than won. I know every coach says that, but that's the truth. And you think back to the past 2 years, we had 0 sacks, extremely few turnovers. So we had very few negative plays on offense, and that's the thing that we've got to continue to have, are just very few negative plays.
When you got to Pinson a couple of years ago, Bo had already played a lot of football. These two guys have much less experience. So does that temper the way you evaluate these guys at all?
A little bit. I mean, you got to handle with care just a little bit, but I say that, and I say that at the same time, there are certain expectations that, if you can't make this read or can't make a certain throw, you'll have a hard time playing, and I'm not afraid to tell them that and make sure they know it. But the good thing is we've got some outstanding running backs. We've got unbelievable wide receivers that our quarterback position doesn't necessarily have to win the game. In the past, we've relied on Bo pretty heavily to do some incredible things and put a lot of pressure on him. And we'll be able to take a lot of pressure off the quarterback this year with as good as we are at other spots and as good as we'll be on defense.
Do you worry at all about, the last couple of years, people have been able to see how well Bo was able to play? Do you worry about fans or people like us comparing whomever your starter is to Bo?
No, I have nothing against you, Josh, but I don't really care about what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
And I tell our quarterbacks, I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. It doesn't matter, most time Bo wasn't even good enough. There was always something to criticize.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. So you're not, nobody on our team does not have to measure up to last year's team, does not have to measure up to the year before's team. There's no comparison. Our team just has to be the best team this year that we can be. And I think that's the way it is in every position. It doesn't matter from quarterback to anything else. We're not going to get in, and I know the media and everybody else will get in the comparison game and fans sitting in the stands, everything else like that. But we're not going to get into that game, and we can't get into that game. We just got to continue, like Antoine said a minute ago, just focus on us and being the best us we can be and just worry about that.
Tez, how do you feel about the offense going into the year?
Offense, we just know what we got to do each play and every play. Even though it's a bad play, we still got to run the play like it's going to work, even though it's going to work.
So he's saying I make bad play calls. Is what it sound like to me there.
No, it's not that. It's just like we have to go out there and like run it 100%, no matter what the play call is, no matter what defense the other defense is in. It's just we got to go out there and just ball, basically. Just go out there and just execute the game plan.
And Antoine, Coach was talking a minute ago about the experience level on defense. So sort of the same question I asked Jeff, but how do you feel about the defense going into the year?
I think that we have so much trust behind our coaches and that we have so much trust behind each other that we know this person's going to get the job done. He's going to be here when I need him to be, so I don't have to try to make any extra plays. So for me at linebacker, I know my D-line going to be exactly where they need to be, so I don't have to try to do something that's not my job. I just do my job. I know we'll be fine.
Coach, players, social media has been a big thing, big game changer in the last couple of years. For you guys personally, how do y'all use social media and huddle and all that to prepare for your games yourself?
Coach tells us all the time, don't stay off social media before each game so we won't be distracted. We do our job at Friday nights. So that's what we do all our talking.
I think our game preparation using huddle is great. I know a lot of us sit at the field house watching film for many hours, just trying to get better, see what we can do to be ready for the game on Friday.
Coach, how does that change the game for you in the last couple of years?
There's two different avenues that we take here. One, talking about the social media, the Twitter, and all that kind of stuff is definitely something you have to be careful of. It can be a very positive thing to get out a positive message, a positive brand, those kind of things. But it also can be a very negative thing if you're not careful. That some people, decide that they want to vent or say something they don't need to, or trash talk or whatever. And, you just got to be careful of that. And that's the thing we remind our guys of all the time. We're not playing the game on Twitter, on social media, Instagram, any of that. We're playing the game on the field. So leave all that talk aside and let's just concentrate on the field. But at the same time, Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and everything else is just a way of life for these guys now. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so it can be used in a very positive way if we'll just continue to make sure that we're doing that and make sure that we're educating our guys and us as a team, same way with us with our Twitter account, as long as we're, handling it the right way and try to make sure there's a positive message going out. Now going down the other road, talking about huddle, video, and really, you go back 25, 30 years ago when I was playing, when you had the VHS tapes, it was different. Yeah, you watched them and you watched them over and over, but now, the way the game has changed, these guys, we've got it broken down to where they can walk in and watch every first down just out of this formation, or every run game play, or every pass play. And then, and I do think that we're very fortunate, we've got a lot of experience on our staff of from a lot of different angles of breaking video down and doing things like that. And it is a huge advantage for us, in high school, for all coaches of being able to do it. But as much as anything, also, being on the sideline. And we're watching the game as the game unfolds. There's been several times I'll call a play, and as soon as the play I call it, I'm looking at the play I just ran to see where the safety was. Like I've got a coach standing beside me with an iPad of knowing what's going on as the game is going. You don't have to wait until Friday night after game or Saturday morning. You already seen the game. So that's truly changed the game also. And these guys know we use that a lot on the sideline, and it's helped us tremendously of seeing what's going on and being able to make adjustments. And, so there's no doubt, huddle and the way technology is today has changed the game a great deal, and in a way made it much better, much easier. But then in a way, it's made it even deeper and more complicated, because you're studying so much that, it's just, you'd think it would be quicker just to press a button. Well, no, you press a button for this, then you press a button for that, and it's just like chasing a rabbit. You just keep chasing.
When you think about your days in the college game, you can look at that iPad now, but your colleagues in college can't. Do you have much discussion with those folks about that?
No, I've told Bo several times he's going to be in withdrawal. He's not going to know what to do. And it's going to be a challenge just for any guy going from high school to college. It's a challenge because you sort of get spoiled. you get used to seeing what's going on and knowing, okay, if that corner does that again, we've got him. And so next time he does it, you get it. And, but you might not see it in college until Saturday because it's very minute. It's hard to see, and so.
And there was even a time for you where you might be asking somebody in a booth, what did the safety do?
Oh, absolutely.
But now you can actually.
Well, there was a time when every coach, you had enough coaches to where they were responsible for 2 players on the field, and some even one, like the corners. You had one coach that watched the corner on the right, one that watched the corner on the left, and he was telling you every snap so you could go back and say, hey, play number 7, when we ran this, what did the corner on the right do? And he could tell you exactly what he did, how deep he was, what he did, all that kind of stuff. Now, the guys in the box, they're just telling you down and distance and what hash and all that if you can't see it because you're watching the game. It has truly changed from, 10 years ago, and definitely in college. And that's why they got so many guys with headphones and in the box and all that, because they're watching so many different things and trying to steal signals and everything else that at that level of what they do, and so. But for us, being able to come over and watch it on the sideline, is amazing.
Did you guys play some instant replay games last year?
We did.
What did you think of it?
Good and bad. I think there's definitely a positive to it. It could be a huge thing. But at our level, you don't have the camera angles, and I think that's what most people think. They think when they hear instant replay, they think of college and NFL. Well, we don't have 18 cameras around the field, video in every angle, and having a camera just on the quarterback and just on this. You got 2 cameras out there, and that's all you've got. And most of the time they're a wide angle, so you can't see details. You can't see whether the ball hit the ground or those kind of things. And so I think part of it's good. We challenged one play during the state championship game, and I still think they got it wrong, and I think there was a fallacy in the system that we had in the state championship game because we had an SEC official that was the one actually interpreting the rules, and he interpreted college rules instead of high school rules. And so I think that there's a lot of things that you still got to look at, when it comes to that, with instant replay. We're not college or NFL, we are high school, so there's still, differences in the game and everything else. So I think there's definitely some good to it. It could be some good to it, but at the same time, I think we just got to realize that, in high school there's going to be some downfalls to it, and that's at the same time, I guess I'm one of the old guys that think that the refs are part of the game. They're going to make some bad calls and they're going to make good calls, and you just got to live with it. You just got to, unfortunately, sometimes there's calls that really, very rarely does it swing a game. Like, everybody wants to talk about the Rams and the Saints. You can go to one play in the entire NFL season to do that, and most of the time there's not one play that determines the outcome of the game.
Is instant replay ever going to be viable enough on a high school level without having to take out a mortgage on your stadium?
It's not right now. I don't know. The price of everything comes down. It does. And with technology, the better technology gets, the more the price does come down. I think in time, they'll be able to use, hopefully in time, they'll be able to use what we've already got in place instead of having to go out and use a whole different system and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's possible. I think that right now it's just in the trial basis of seeing all the different ways of being able to do it. And like I said, I like it, the fact that it's in the playoff, that it's in the championship games. I think that's a good thing because you do have TV angles and stuff like that. So I do think that's a good thing. Like at our place, there's not going to be a whole lot of calls changed, with
You
the
guys
video
have it
that we
at
have. We do not. We do not.
And will you guys have it this year?
No, we will not.
Coach, getting back to the players, tell us about your kicker, your long snapper, short snapper, that game for you this year.
Yeah. Kicker Chris Soto is returning and did a very good job for us last year, and he'll do good. The punter is still up in the air. We've got 2 or 3 that that we're still working. Who knows what's going to happen there. Snapper, we've got 2 or 3 that have played it. Caleb was Nix was a long snapper last year, but we got a couple of linebackers type of guys and offensive linemen that have snapped before. And so, a lot of that depends on who's playing what and who's playing, significant reps. We sort of try if Caleb's playing quarterback, we don't typically like to put your quarterback as a long snapper. That's not really good. So with him last year, not just playing quarterback, he can do it. So, but like I said, we've got several guys that have done it and feel confident that we'll be okay there.
Who's going to be a return guy this year?
That's the great thing about us. We have, we literally can put names in a hat, draw out from 6 of them, and we're going to be really good. Between Tez and Kool-Aid and Jay Sharp and Mike Sharp and Kenji Christian, Jaquel Fales, we can go through a list of guys that can go back there and return punts and kickoffs and be really good at it. And it probably will be sort of by committee, different guys at different times back there. But I would imagine Tez and Kool-Aid will be back there a whole lot, doing that.
How do you balance how much you play Kool-Aid offense and defense?
You don't let him play.
Has he ever said, "Hey, coach, I'm tired. I need to come out"?
No. We've noticed that he's been a little bit tired. We've taken him out. Especially like if he's ran a deep ball on offense, just get off the side and catch your breath. Now if he's on run a deep ball on the opposite sideline, you might as well just stay out there because it's farther than our sideline, just back to your spot. But when he's on our sideline, it's easy just to get him off real quick, get him a break. Same thing on defense. If we know we're in a good, favorable down and distance, we feel like they're, going to run or whatever, might get some other guys in, do some other things. But, I don't think that there's necessarily the more he plays, the better he plays generally. And so I don't think that there'll be a time where, he won't be on a pitch count or anything like that. He'll play.
Antoine, you said something really interesting earlier. You talked about how Coach had been emphasizing that, this is a new year and this team is 0-0 despite winning the championship last year. You guys were in the same position a year ago. You were the defending champ. And you guys are in that position and you won it again. What do you think you and your teammates learned through that experience that you can apply to this season?
We learned a lot. Everything that we hear this year, we heard it last season. We know we're 0-0. We know we're the defending champs. We know that everybody's keying in on us, but every day Coach reminds us that we haven't done nothing, that we have to get better, and we have a whole new season to play.
Last year, I think before the championship game, you and I talked, and you said that you thought getting back to the championship round gave your program some legitimacy, that you guys were able to do it 2 years in a row. But you guys won it again, so is the vibe different going into this season?
Without a doubt. And y'all been first to say it. The only reason we won is because of Bo. That's what everybody says. So yeah, the vibe's different. I think there's I think we would be kidding if we didn't say there's a chip on our shoulder, because and he's my son, love him to death. But we all want to show that we're pretty good coaches, we're pretty good players. Bo is a great player, and it is hard to replace a guy like that. But we're still a pretty good team, and we're looking forward to strapping it on and going and play. And like Tess said, we play in the toughest region in 6A, bar none. And every single team, unfortunately, there's going to be a team or two not even make the playoffs that can definitely go 2 or 3 rounds into it, without a doubt. So every week is a great challenge for us, and every one of them, there's no doubt about it. We're circled on their calendar, when they get to play us. And the great thing about us is, quite honestly, they're all circled on ours too. We're looking forward to going and playing and showing that, there is, and once again, as much as I love it, there is life after Bo, and we're going to be, we're going to show up and we're going to play and we're going to compete and we're going to get after it. And so, I think we're in a very similar situation. I think everybody thought that, the year before it was kind of a luck thing. Pinson, okay, they had a great senior class. They can't do it again. Okay, they did it again, but it was only because of Bo. Okay, now we've just got to go prove ourselves again. And I think so for us as as staff, as players, every one of us, I think there is definitely a chip on the shoulder. Even though, and it's crazy that you say that, being the 2-time state champ, defending state champ, that you still feel like you got to prove yourself. But I think everybody that walks in our halls and everybody knows that we've got something to prove, and I think that's why these guys have worked so hard this offseason, and I do think that's why it's probably been our best offseason is because they're very excited to go out and show what they can do. And I think going back to a minute ago, you said, what have we learned? I think these guys learned and have learned the blueprint of getting there, and it hasn't changed. What we do is not going to change. How we work is not going to change. We are who we are, and we're going to do it every day the way we do it. And I think that's what is great for these. They've seen how to do it. They've seen, okay, let's just follow this method. Let's just do this. And they don't question it. They just do it. And they work their tail off in doing it. And I think because of that, I think that's the experience that our group has gained from, and our teams and coaches have gained from, is knowing the blueprint to get there. Now it's our job to just do it and do it the best we can and get better at it every day.
To build on what Coach just said, for both of you two players, what do you guys think about the opener against Hewitt Trustful?
Open against Hewitt Trustful, they're a good team. We just got to go in there with our head on right and just execute the game plan and go out there and win.
It's the first game of the season, so of course we want to win, but we take it as we're going to play them like any other team. We're going to go out there, play hard, be ready for that game, prepare for that game. Hopefully we'll get the win, then be on to the next. We take one game at a time. We don't like to look ahead. Like we don't want to look towards Clay week or Chase Valley, Ramsey week, and we have a game right in front of us. So we like to take one game at a time.
Is that something you guys? I mean, last year you guys played the opener against Hoover. This year you guys will play Hewitt Trustful. Is that something that you guys have been able to point toward throughout the off season to say, hey, this is who, we're going to play this 7A team to start the season?
Quite honestly, we did that last year versus Hoover, and I thought it was the worst thing we could do. Mm-hmm. Getting to play on ESPN, playing Hoover, made a big deal out of it. It's like Antoine just said. That's not our approach. It hasn't been our approach. We probably messed up a little bit last summer of making that our approach. It's the next game on the schedule. And it doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter where it is. We know the preparation that we have to do to get ready for it. That's the bottom line. And so no, I don't. This summer off season, it hasn't been about who we open up with. It's been about us and us just making sure that we're becoming the best we can be.
And that's a Friday night game.
It's a Friday night game.
And it's at their place.
At Trustful.